infested turns, and still a lot of Broodlords remaining here. Those Corruptors, though, nothing they can shoot. They're just dead supply, and the Broodlords magically disappear. Look at this, he clears up all of that army, still has enough army standing. Meanwhile, the Lings are trying to do something here, but they will get killed by these huge force from Dave. And Dave is just blinking forward, aggressively pushing forward and forward and forward. He has to attack now before Hordeon can reinforce this.
Daveathor needs to get himself an observer to take out retreating units that are burrowed. He needs the detection himself, especially if his mothership gets neuroparasited. He won't even be able to see his opponent's army, which is a very critical point if he can't even see that. The mothership will be out in 10 seconds for future engagements, but it won't have the energy, and it won't be anywhere near this engagement that's about to happen. So Daveathor has to be careful. Hordeon even more so. He doesn't have the capacity to reinforce this army again, and the Stalkers are already right underneath his army. So the Broodlords are going to get munched through, and Daveathor is going to have to pull back against those infested turrets, but he will be able to go forward again shortly.
Oh, and that 5th base is still alive and kicking. He did not manage to kill it. I don't think he will kill it in time. The thing about these Broodlords is that even though the infestors are out of energy, there were so many Broodlords at one time that they created a whole new army just out of Broodlings, but right now they have no support, nothing to protect them, and they are going down one by one. Infestors, no energy for fungals, no energy for infested turns, and look at this Daveathor once again cleaning that army up, but he's running low on anti-air right now. He has to pull back, nothing to kill those Broodlords with as of yet. No more warpins occurring neither. He's just waiting and microing like crazy.
And Daveathor still only just starts his 4th base, whilst Hordeon has been comfortably on a lot more bases for a lot longer. So Daveathor only actually has the 1 mining base to work with. So his army reinforcements are going to be a lot slower than his opponent, who is sitting more comfortably on 2 mining bases with a decent saturation ready to go on to his 5th.
Well, the 5th base, apart from producing larvae, did not do very much for Hordeon here. He did not mine very many minerals from that. Granted, that base already paid for itself, but you know what's the thing with Daveathor right now? Once he gets the income from these 2 gases, when that base finishes, it will not matter that his main is mined out, that his natural has no minerals almost. He still will have 2 base economy at least for quite some time, but I do agree he needs a 5th base as well, desperately. And look at this, there's not... Whoa. Excuse me, 11 Broodlords. Hordeon is really managing his resources smartly. Not enough infestors, though.
Indeed, he's lacking in the infestor count, and he does need to get a good neuroparasite off on the mothership. Otherwise, this is all going to go downhill for him as soon as the Archon Toilet comes into play. And with enough High Templar now to make that function, or High Templars and Archons, High Templars being morphed over, of course, then Hordeon can be in a very sour position. Daveathor looks like he's getting geared up to take this game away from his opponent.
Well, if he wants to do that, he should be pushing very shortly, because there are 5 more infestors that just now popped. Level 3 flyer attacks are on the way, and 7 more corruptors. He has to get a good vortex and avoid a neural parasite at all costs. And look at this, Hordeon's army is actually really bunched up. If he gets that vortex off right now, here comes in the mothership, but it's neural parasite, and oh my god! And he expends the energy on Daveathor's own army. He still has 1 vortex to go. Will he continue to neuroparasite? No, he does not have enough energy. Oh my god, that just turned the battle upside down on its head.
Daveathor gets his own...
Oh, another vortex!
There's enough Archons for Daveathor to win this right now.
He has to get those Archons in there, though. They are being blocked somewhat by the Broodlings, and they are being taken down. But there they go inside the vortex. All those Broodlords will go down. The mothership does as well. And what's the hell on these units? Will Daveathor do it? Will he do it? Broodlords are going down. Last of the Broodlord falls. And does Daveathor have enough to reinforce his push to crush Hordeon ultimately? He also needs that for a 5th base still. But my, was this a battle.
Hordeon has 5 more Broodlords coming in. Both players deciding, well, that engagement was very close. So they just fall back, and they're going to start remassing again. Daveathor gets his mothership, Hordeon gets his broodlords, both of them trying to go for a more favourable engagement. And this is an amazing game so far.
Indeed, it is. I am very surprised and quite in awe in both of these players, especially Daveathor, because Hordeon is a very highly ranked master level player, whereas Daveathor is ranked #1 in Diamond League. And like Hordeon, when I say very highly ranked, I'm talking 1300 points, top 25 to top 8. Borderline GM, and look how much trouble Daveathor is causing to him, despite some of the hiccups during this game.
Absolutely. And Hordeon has managed to keep up with his opponent very well, despite all of those problems at the start, having so many lings but not being useful. So the fact that he's still in such a commanding position against his opponent this late into the game is very, very impressive.
Indeed it is, and you know what? Hordeon is starting to run low on his income, whereas Daveathor just now getting his 5th Nexus up. So essentially, if you look how the map is split, the Protoss mined less resources on his half of the map than the Zerg did on his half of the map. So if this goes on any longer, and if Daveathor manages to do such good trades versus the Zerg, he's going to have more resources at his disposal for respawns. Another Neuroparasite!
And Daveathor has no detection. He's not going to be able to see his opponent's army now that it's been neural, and he can just push forward gradually, slowly, and take out this base.
Oh my god, he's trying to go with the feedbacks, but all those broodlords are or have been cloaked for quite some time. Now the mothership goes down, killed, and Daveathor has to retreat, and now he lost his ace in his sleeve. He will lose this base. He may even lose a ton of probes because the evacuation came too little, too late.
There are more broodlords on the map right now than there are stalkers. There are 3 Archons, 10 stalkers, 13 broodlords. And there is no way that Daveathor can take on that army. He's 100 supply behind his opponent, and unless he can mount a superb last defense, he's going to have to GG out of this, despite playing phenomenally this entire game.
Yes, indeed, I have to agree with that. What I don't get is why is he producing immortals still? He's constantly replenishing his immortal count. And here we go again. There goes the blink in under those broodlords, but immediately the stalkers do get fungal. There goes additional fungal, and once all those stalkers fall, but once again the infestors are all out of energy. The corruptors, only thing they can do is corrupt the army. There goes some storms on the broodlords, but I don't think it will be enough. Those Archons, can they get underneath those broodlords?
The Archons don't have sustaining damage to push forward, and Daveathor really now needed the Colossus to be able to deal with all of those broodlings that were just ripping apart his army. But the GG goes out. Hordeon pulls back, grinding his way back into a staying position in this game against Daveathor, who played so well in the beginning, got his defenses up, got the capacity to beat his opponent down, but didn't abuse it as much as he could have. He didn't push at the right times.